Hello, everybody. Let me pull this on up to present. Hello, everybody. My name is Savannah Wilkerson, and I had the pleasure of working with Natalie and Christy for this creation of workshop for our Lead One course. And for our workshop, we decided to discuss Kahoot. If you don't know what Kahoot is, don't you worry. Sit tight. We're going to get right into it. So, what is Kahoot? If you haven't heard about Kahoot, then you're in for a real treat. Kahoot is a really awesome and easily accessible teaching and learning online tool that can be used in the classroom. It is just blown up in popularity. I'm sure if you've been in an in-person class in the past 2 or 3 years, you very well may have used Kahoot, or you may have used Kahoot as an instructor. It has really taken over the classroom. It makes learning really fun through using a multiple choice quiz that capitalizes on friendly competition. And it can be used on phones, it can be used on laptops, both taking the quiz and participating in it, as well as creating it. However, the really neat thing about Kahoot is that it focuses on how you learn, not necessarily what you learn, which is very applicable to adult learning as we've learned throughout this course. What is the purpose of our Kahoot session? There's a couple of different purposes that we want to touch on, and first and foremost, it's to expose adult educators to Kahoot. This is certainly one of the surface level expectations that we have of this workshop. It's that adult educators can understand and use and see the benefits of using Kahoot in the classroom. However, if we want to dive a little bit deeper into this workshop, it is to really appeal to the students' natural motivation through friendly competition. We've learned throughout the course that adult learners have ingrained motivation in many different cases. Obviously, it's dependent on the context of where the learning is going to take place. However, we think that using Kahoot really capitalizes on this natural motivation. And finally, technology is absolutely very prevalent in education today. While it can be detrimental in some cases, this is certainly a place where Kahoot is definitely a tool that assists learning and complements learning. And we hope to make that very obvious through use of this workshop. Through creating this workshop, we have a couple of different considerations for adult learners that we want to touch on. And as I stated previously, technology and adult learning, this is absolutely very prevalent in adult education today. And utilizing technology in the classroom, both as an instructor and as a student, is extremely beneficial. Technology is not going anywhere, both academically and just in the real world. And utilizing Kahoot and touching on that technology is absolutely going to maximize learning. Next, self-directed learning. Adult learners, but especially adult learners, really seek out learning and become invested in learning if they're interested in them. And Kahoot capitalizes on that. It makes learning interesting. Maybe if the subject matter isn't 100% interesting to them, utilizing Kahoot can make it interesting for them. And going right along with that motivation, adult learners absolutely have a perhaps heightened, in many cases, sense of motivation, and using Kahoot can assist in that. And if the adult learner may not be as invested and motivated, then utilizing this game can assist in creating that motivation within them. Finally, bettering the learning community. This is just a very positive and exciting way to assess learning and to use collaboration and to heighten emotion and just to make learning fun. I mean, isn't that really important? Why is this necessary? Why do we care? Implementation and understanding modern technology is absolutely essential for instructors. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Technology is not going anywhere, and it's very important that our instructors understand that. And so using Kahoot will demonstrate that technology can be a complementary tool to use in their classrooms. And learning about Kahoot will assist instructors in incorporating into the classroom. Pretty self-explanatory. Our target audience for this workshop is absolutely educators of all background. Any K through 12 instructor certainly may benefit from this workshop. However, in understanding of our current course in Lead 1, adult educators are certainly the primary target, and we've tailored it to that. Higher education and community education adult students can benefit from using Kahoot to complement the learning that they're doing in the classroom. It draws upon and it capitalizes on their motivation through friendly competition. The learning objectives for this workshop, we have 4 that we've come up with. As the instructors go through this workshop, we hope that they understand the importance of designing and facilitating different instruction methods, while also understanding and taking into consideration different approaches to meet the needs of adult learners. While the overarching topic may be Kahoot, we'll be going into different ways that adult learners can really benefit from using different methods. Throughout the workshop, instructors will learn to design Kahoot. They're going to make their own Kahoot that they can then use in the classroom, and that Kahoot may be used to discuss and touch upon the generational gaps that may exist between adult learners and technology. Adult learners may be a little bit hesitant to utilize technology, and this is a great introductory way to draw them into technology. We're going to be going over different techniques to enhance and complement learning by using different stimuli like sounds and pictures and emotion and excitement. And then finally, using Kahoot and understanding it in the context of this workshop, we're hoping that it'll emphasize the importance of capitalizing on self-directed learning and critical thinking. So if you have not used Kahoot before, then we have included a little test run here for you. I'm going to include a link to access this Kahoot in the comments after I post on the discussion board. So feel free to give it a shot if you have not used it before and have fun with it. In the vein of teaching around the circle, as we've learned through this course, we have 4 different methods of teaching around the circle. In terms of concrete experiences, learners are going to understand using Kahoot through observation. So we'll show them a Kahoot, and then they're also going to give it a shot. And this will, through observation and demonstration, they're going to learn a new teaching technique. Through reflective experience, we're hoping to have some really great reflective discussions after using Kahoot and after creating their own Kahoot, so that participants can receive feedback on both playing the game and creating their game through really meaningful talks with the entire group. Active experience. Our instructors in the course are going to be playing. They're going to be playing their Kahoot, and they're going to be testing it out, and they get to actively experiment with creating a Kahoot. And then abstract experience. So this presentation will be taught through a lecture format in order to get the content across. When we're evaluating learning through this Kahoot workshop, we're hoping that once the instructors leave, they can explain the concept of Kahoot clearly and concisely, so that they can explain that to their peers, as well as the students within their courses or other various locations that they are in. The instructor is able to use Kahoot in their teaching technique. They're able to create one, and they're able to understand how Kahoot can benefit them within their own classroom. And then to really dive deep into how we're evaluating our Kahoot, we will be exposing our instructors to Kahoot initially by having them take a Kahoot. And then we will be receiving their reaction following the Kahoot by having a large group discussion, and this will be evaluating their reaction. Next up, we're going to use a Kahoot to measure their learning of Kahoot. Very meta, I know. And so another example of how we can get the information across, this is an example of a flowchart for the Kahoot content sharing. And then this can be used to assist the learning process with a Kahoot assessment taken after place. Next up, the workshop is going to be, it will be a little bit difficult to assess the student learning on the job in this context. However, we are hoping that the instructors within this course can demonstrate understanding and proficiency through creating their own Kahoot. And then finally, to truly assess the student learning that took place within this workshop, we hope to issue a post-survey following the workshop, and this could take place anywhere between 2 weeks to a month to really allow the instructors to implement Kahoot within their different settings that they're in, and to follow up and understand how they've been utilizing their learning, whether or not they've been using Kahoot, whether or not they would recommend Kahoot to a peer or to their students. So we hope that through the understanding of Kahoot, adult educators can implement this incredible tool in their own classrooms and can communicate that clearly and concisely. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much for following along. Have a great day.